February 10th, Thursday.
It's over.
Hey, hang on, Sugiura.
Eh?
To think you'd just disappear the very moment class is over.
I guess so?
We still have last period, don't we? Though I guess they don't take attendance anymore.
I don't think you should be talking to me. It might end badly for you too, Ogiso.
Well, whatever. By the way, Sugiura, you know about my sister, right? You saw her on the live DVD of the previous school festival. Huh? You don't remember? I'm referring to the one where my sister was the singer and Tomokazusa was on the keyboard.
Well, what about it?
Hey, are you free this Sunday?
I have my part-time job.
My sister's birthday happens to be next Monday, you see.
I don't have the slightest clue what you're trying to get at from this conversation.
We're having a birthday party for my sister this coming Sunday. So, if you don't mind, why don't you come over? See, that's what I'm getting at.
Why?
My sister's friends from university will be coming too. That's why you don't need to feel so reserved about this.
Did those university friends of hers happen to ask you to invite me? Did they ask you to directly introduce me to Ogiso-senpai?
Huh? What are you talking about, Sugiura?
Right back at you? What are you talking about?
Like I said, I'm just asking if you would like to come to the party. That's all I'm trying to say, you know?
Then why are you asking me?
Because you looked out for me a lot as a fellow class rep? Is that not an adequate reason? Sugiura?
I'm sorry, Ogiso. I didn't mean to be suspicious about your intentions. I really have been rather unpleasant lately.
My sister's not all that amazing, but her cooking is pretty good, and she might even tell us more about Tomokazusa.
So, she's good at cooking?
You're also already accepted into Hojo University, right, Sugiura? They'll all be your upperclassmen, so you may even be able to talk to them and end up learning something useful.
That's true.
Right? So it's on Sunday at 5 o'clock in the evening.
But sorry, I really have part-time work.
Is that so?
Send my regards to your sister. Tell her I wish her a happy birthday.
Yeah, I got it.
Goodbye. See you next week.
Yeah. See ya. What's wrong?
I was just thinking that it's been a while since I properly greeted someone in school.
Huh?
I see. So it's her birthday?
So, that's what you were up to.
Huh?
And here I was wondering just what on earth you were up to, acting so sneakily behind our backs.
What do you mean? I don't think I have anything to feel guilty for.
You're trying to make us and her make up, aren't you? You wouldn't have invited us to your sister's birthday party or anything if not for that reason.
No, that's... You two told me before that you wanted to meet my sister, right?
Well, that's true. I want to see her at least once. Your sister can almost be considered a legend around the school after all, Ogiso.
Well, no matter how you look at her, she's just a normal university student, though.
Still, attempting to use that invitation as bait to deceive us is just so unfair.
You two are the ones who are being unfair now, aren't you?
Ogiso-kun.
Was this the outcome you two desired? To make Sugiura the black sheep of the school and to graduate with your friendship broken?
Yes, that's exactly right. And things have gone splendidly. Sayori!
The truth is, you two are actually scared, right? Despite the fact that you two started all this, the rumors got exaggerated to the point of getting out of hand. I never have imagined it either. I've always thought that such an atmosphere is foreign to this school, being a relaxed school for the rich.
Yeah, to be honest, even I didn't expect things to turn out like this.
But you can't deny that it was the two of you who started this, right? To hurt someone you considered a friend just yesterday to such an extent?
What should we do? Hey, Sayori, why don't we... Then what about Mahoko?
Huh?
What are we going to do about her, given that she's been completely betrayed by the person she considered her best friend just yesterday, and still hasn't been able to recover from that fact?
But if you judge things solely based on what Yada said...
That's why we tried to hear things straight from the horse's mouth, and yet she didn't deny it. And that's not all. Despite everything we said to her, she's still continuing to betray Mahoko, you know? She keeps meeting up with that university student time after time, you know?
I'm sorry, Senpai. I didn't mean to make you wait.
Koharu sprinted through the ticket gate of the station 30 seconds before the time we arranged to meet, and without slowing down, she ran into my chest.
I was really anxious. I spent so much time preparing. The train I was supposed to ride on left right in front of me.
I was anxious too, just a moment ago, that is. Though I expected Koharu to be lightweight as usual. The combination of her unusually lively speed, along with how unexpectedly heavy she felt, caused me to stagger 3 steps backwards. Well, inertia's a bitch.
Still, I took my time when I was getting ready, so I'm perfectly prepared this time. Look, I brought 3 pairs of clothes, pajamas, a brush, and a hairdryer. I also brought a special cleanser, a nail clipper, ear picks, and a phone charger.
You're not used to traveling, are you? What a heavily equipped sleepover set. It's not a wonder why she had that much more kinetic energy earlier.
How about we go look for a locker first? It'll be hard for us to go shopping with all this stuff.
It's fine, I'll carry it for you. It'll be a waste to spend 300 yen for 1 or 2 hours.
Wow, you can even hold it with one hand? You're so strong.
Well, I am a man after all. Though it was actually so heavy that I felt a sharp, overwhelming pain run through my right hand for a moment.
Then I'll take care of your other hand. Shall we go, Senpai?
And with my free left hand being held by both Koharu's hands, my right hand will have to endure the pain of lifting her overstuffed luggage for the next 1 or 2 hours. The long exam period is finally over, and tomorrow would mark the start of an even longer spring break. And although the high school spring break only starts in March, the general public has 3 days off starting from tomorrow, including a national holiday. That's why Koharu properly changed into her casual clothes this time, prepared whatever she needed to sleep over at my place, and rendezvoused with me in Onjuku, where it's unlikely that anyone would recognize us. And she's lied yet again, telling her parents that she would be going on a ski trip with her friends. Well then, let's buy our ingredients first, I suppose.
I'll challenge myself to do the cooking this time, okay? Though it might only serve to make me aware of our difference in skill.
Not at all. My cooking is clearly amateurish to the point where I'd be thankful if it's edible, you know?
No, I'm not trying to compare it to your... you heard me?
Are you really that unconfident about this? After that, do you want to rent some movies? I don't have a game console or anything like that in my apartment after all.
There's no need for that. I want to spend the entire time we're alone together just looking at you, senpai.
You'll get tired of that, you know. Given that both of my hands are occupied, I can't wipe away the sweat that I can imagine that is spouting out of my forehead right now.
I don't think so. We'll be busy with work in the daytime after all.
I suppose. I can't tell if it's just typical of Koharu to insist on going to work during the day, even when she's staying over at a guy's apartment.
We have to make sure we arrive at work at different times, although we could always go home together.
I guess so. Though I was kind of forced to accept the shifts she signed me up for, of course.
Somehow, rather than a sleepover, it seems we look more like we're preparing to live together.
Well, that aside, we sure will be busy. Are you really okay with a weekend like this?
It's fine, because there will only be the two of us at night. I won't be alone.
The very moment she said that, I could tell how Koharu meant two different things in her words, from how desperately she's holding on to my hand.
Senpai, are you sure you're okay?
I feel like my shoulders have been partially dislocated. I'm holding Koharu's massive luggage in my right hand, and I'm holding 3 days worth of ingredients in my left hand. I don't have a hand that Koharu can hold on to anymore. Well, Koharu herself is currently holding some heavy-looking shopping bags, so it's not like the two of us can actually act like a couple right now. Sorry, after this, I want to check out this area for a little while.
Okay. What do you want to buy? I'll bring it to the cashier.
But...
Senpai, your hands are already full, aren't they? And bringing that massive luggage into the shop will bother the other customers. What is it? Is it on this shelf?
No, it's above those discounted items.
Senpai, could it be that you have a slight cold?
I don't, actually.
Why didn't you say anything up until now? Could it be because you know I wanted to stay over?
Like I said, that's not it.
I really don't want you to be forcing yourself for my sake like this. I would have wanted you to be honest with me that you're not feeling well.
It's not the one on the top shelf.
Of course, I'd be sad if you told me not to come, but taking care of your body is more important.
It's on the second.
Still, it's a good thing that I decided to come now, isn't it? It's a good opportunity for me to look after you and provide you with constant attention. Why did you hide the fact that you were sick, senpai?
Like I said, it's not the cold medicine on the top shelf. I'm talking about the discounted items arranged on the second row.
Are you worried that it might infect me? Why do you always think of others so much? Second row?
The pharmacy was located next to where the groceries were placed. On the second row, with all the discount items, there are a dozen boxes packed neatly into packages of 3.
Senpai!
That's why I told you I'm the one who should buy it. This amusing spectacle really didn't need to happen.
Senpai, you're the worst.
It's your own fault for being nosy, even after I said I could handle it myself, Koharu.
You know what my personality is like? The truth is, you wanted me to buy it knowing that I would be shocked, didn't you? What a bad joke.
Despite her complaints, and despite the fact that her face was completely and vividly red, no less, Koharu still went out of her way to make a stamp card for me. I do feel sorry.
Anyway, if you had told me beforehand what you were going to buy, I could have at least been a little more mentally prepared.
No, I was the one who was at fault before all this even started. Well, I didn't really prepare appropriately. I didn't take the necessary precautions when it comes to you, Koharu. Senpai? Embarrassingly enough, by the time I realized that I didn't put one on when I was doing it with her the first time, we had already finished. To do that to a girl who is about to enter university, it was, well, really thoughtless of me. Oh, it's not like I had anything like that with me in the first place. So, it's not like I could have done anything about it, even if I did realize that. That's why, well, what happened just now wasn't the worst thing I've done. It makes it the second worst. Can we agree to drop the subject here?
Senpai,
Yeah?
I'd like you to go out and take a stroll for a while. There's something I need to think about.
What is it?
Please do not pry any further. Well, I'll call you when I'm done.
Hey, Koharu. Then, with the condom incident left unsettled, I looked at where Koharu was dashing to and concluded that I didn't need to pry any further, because there were many stall carts lined up in the directions she ran to with flashy decorations and Valentine's Day written on them. After leaving the underground grocery street, I walked around the shopping mall looking for a place to rest. I remember that shop was somewhere in this building. Welcome! It's nice to see you again. You actually remember me? Of course! I never forget the face of a customer who's made a purchase here. Oh, thank you for that. That can't be true, strictly speaking. Though, to be fair, that'd be quite ridiculous of me to expect her to remember me after more than 3 years. What are you looking for today? I can accompany you as long as you want, just like before. No, that's... Alright. Please take your time to choose. Call me anytime if you need anything, okay? Thank you very much. The salesperson must have been perceptive enough to realize that my hesitation had a different reason compared to the last time. And that's why she doesn't stick too close to me, and maintains an appropriate distance, unlike what happened last Christmas. The last time I came here, I hesitated for 2 hours. It wasn't about giving her a present that would make her happy, but more about giving her something that wouldn't upset her. I was scared to become too distant from her, yet I felt a sense of guilt if I got too close. While telling myself that I had to decide on one of them, I walked around in circles endlessly. And now, we have drifted much further apart than ever before, with the heavy, unbreakable feeling of guilt continuing to envelop me. Before I knew it, her birthday has come about. I think about what to give her, and I'm perplexed by that very thought. After all, I've decided not to meet her on that commemorative day.
Senpai?
That's why when Koharu called out to me, I think I made a face like a kid who was caught red-handed. You were picking out Ogaso-senpai's birthday present just now, weren't you? Koharu. However, compared to my half-baked feelings, the words that Koharu muttered shook me even more.
Why did you leave without buying anything? We still had plenty of time.
How did you...
Because I've also been invited to the birthday party of a certain someone's older sister, that is.
Takahiro-kun?
I thought he already knew everything at first, and I wondered if I'd end up being ganged up on again if I happened to brazenly attend it.
That's not true. Takahiro-kun isn't someone that would do that. Again?
You're right. It seems that he just wanted to cheer me up. I really can't hold a candle to him.
I also understand how she feels. I'm sure that Koharu had to endure Takahiro-kun's kindness. After all, kindness given from the members of the Ogoso family is simply too hard to bear for those who have strayed from their intended paths.
You knew that it was Ogiso-senpai's birthday, but also that you couldn't celebrate it because of me, so you thought you could at least give her a present, right?
That's not what I thought.
Let's give her a present, shall we?
It's fine, really. It's not like I give her one every year anyway.
But since you refused the invitation, don't you think you should at least do that much?
Are you okay with that, Koharu? Yeah? Because I get it now? What do you mean?
Everyone has different types of sincerity meant for different people.
Which means...
It would be easy to be someone who anyone could get along with, though that is simply my own naive way of thinking about it up until last year.
The dazzling girl who doesn't feel ashamed about anything and sincerely believes in her own sense of justice.
Even now, I don't think what I said is absolutely right, but it's more like I'm beginning to understand.
Koharu has now become such a captivating woman, and all because of me.
This weekend, you said that you wouldn't go to Ogaso-senpai's place, and you'd stay by my side instead, senpai?
I'm sure that's a sin that I've committed against her.
That alone is enough for me.
And my greatest sin of them all is making her accept such a change within herself.
Even though I was the one who fell in love with you, and even though I got hurt because of that, you still made many mistakes for my sake, senpai.
Don't put it in such a sad way.
It's because you're kind, senpai, that you just can't bring yourself to leave me alone, right?
You're wrong.
I know that much. After all, you've never even said that you love me.
I never even noticed that.
Still, that's only natural, isn't it?
Even though such a simple phrase is so commonly used around us.
You wouldn't usually just accept someone so easily when they suddenly say they're in love with you, especially someone who's been so fussy around you all the time, right?
But to think that such a phrase never came out of my mouth, even once.
And this is considering you still have someone you've cared about all this time, senpai? Someone whom you're having a little falling out with right now?
To think that only Koharu has ever said that phrase between us.
But it'd only be strange if you could say that you love me so easily. I wouldn't have fallen in love with someone so insincere.
Koharu!
The fact that you won't say you love me so easily is your way of being sincere. Even so, the way you hold me tight when I want someone to be kind to me is also how you're being sincere, senpai.
You're wrong. That's not...
I understand it now. Everyone has many different types of sincerity, even towards the same person.
That was nothing but a convenient way for me to run away. Koharu should absolutely not be saying things like this. Not while she's being manipulated by the worst double standard there is.
Hey, senpai, let's go back to that shop, okay? Let's choose a present for Ogiso-senpai, okay?
Then you'll have to accept a present from me too, Koharu.
You can't do that, senpai.
Why?
Because if you do, I'd have to take back what I've said just now.
Koharu.
After you?
Since we arrived at Minami Soetsugo, Koharu has been following a few meters behind me. I'm unable to tell just what she's trying to accomplish by doing this and how effective she is at doing so. Even so, no matter how dark the shadows cast on her is, her passion and will refuse to bend, as always.
I'm back?
Welcome back.
I've come back home? It's been a week since I've come into your apartment, to where you are.
Though I suppose she may have only wanted to say those words. Welcome back, Koharu.
Senpai?
That's why, once the thin door separates us from the world, Koharu's feelings become uncontrollable.
Senpai,
I'm sorry, Koharu, for not giving you anything. Our lips touched. She buried her face into my chest, and she broke down sobbing in the blink of an eye.
Please, don't worry about that, senpai. After all, in exchange, I get to have you all to myself until Sunday.
Yeah, I'm yours for the next 3 days, Koharu.
I have a place to go back to. I'm in love. That's why I won't lose. Senpai.
We desperately pour our strength into our numbed hands that were holding the heavy luggage, tightly and forcefully hugging one another. Our 3 days of living together have only just begun, and yet the both of us desire one another so passionately, right from the start, as if our final farewell was near.
Is this alright for you?
Yeah. And then they hooked up like the horny kids they are. February 11th, Friday.
Allow me to repeat your order. 1 eggplant gratin, 1 Mediterranean-style risotto, and 1 drink set. Will that be all? Then please enjoy. Thank you very much. Please wait for a moment. Should I put the bill together? Your total is 2,580 yen. I've received 5,000 yen. Here's the return of 2,000 yen first. Then here's the remaining 420 yen. Yes, thank you very much.
420 blazing. Koharu-san, please stop looking at her and focus on your work. Yeglio, Ohio is done. Also, I don't know who you are referring to. You're someone who will become the branch manager soon, so get a hold of yourself. Please don't make this into a quibbling match. You know I can't win against you, right, Kidahara-san? That Koharu. She's completely different when she's working, compared to when she's in bed. Well, what's expected of her is still there. But apart from the obvious, her weak side seems to disappear the moment she puts on the goodies uniform. Perhaps Koharu thinks that this restaurant is one of the very few places she can stay strong with the way things are now. But you're right. Apparently, the branch manager will be going back to headquarters. It seems he can't do jobs that require him to stand anymore. I see. That sounds terrible. Yeah, it is. I won't be considered an acting manager anymore. As for how soon, I'll be the branch manager starting in April. I don't know if I should give you my congratulations or my condolences. I appreciate either sentiment. I wanted to be a regular employee, you know? A regular employee. I was actually referring to the retired manager when I said, now that sounds terrible. But it's too late to correct that now. Well, normally there are only 1 or 2 regular employees in every restaurant. By the way, what about overtime payment? Well, yeah, I'm prepared to a certain degree. Though, I'll look for a union first. Well, do your best. Try not to repeat the previous manager's mistakes. But since it's decided, I suddenly became uneasy about the restaurant's future, especially regarding the retention of staff. I'll make myself clear, but I'm already in the middle of looking for employment. I understand. I'm not talking about you, Kidahara-san. It's just that I don't want to let go of Sugiura-san. It's not like I can do anything about that. It's clear that she has the ability to work in the dining area, but the way she works so seriously should also provide a good influence to the others working there as well. Don't just move on without addressing what I said. Nakagawa-san is the kind of person who's quite popular, but also quite lenient, so if Koharu can act as a substitute for her, this restaurant will be in a much better position, is what I think. Well, she is a naturally born class rep after all. You might have found a good catch. Thanks to your diligent training, she became a proper mini Kidahara, be it in her work ethics, mentality, size, or... I feel like the longer that sentence went on, the ruder it became. Anyway, I'm counting on you for this. I think that, as long as you persuade her, Kidahara-san, she'll stay. You could at least listen to what I'm saying. Hey, Koharu-chi.
I told you to stop addressing me that way. Moreover, you know we're still in the middle of work, right?
There's nothing to do now, so isn't it fine? So, Kidahara-san finally came back, huh?
It's because his university is on spring break. It must be nice to have more than a month off.
Good for you, Koharu-chi. It means you two can act all lovey-dovey from now on, right?
Putting aside how you managed to arrive at that conclusion, I still have to go to school. There's still 2 more weeks of class before graduation.
Ow! So you can only act all lovey-dovey on weekends. Perhaps you two can make out in the changing room or something?
Please, don't talk about our workplace as if it's some place where we can fish for men. It's just inconsiderate.
Then I suppose you two will be lovey-dovey after graduation. And you'll also be able to act all couple-like by spring when you two are on the same campus.
You should really stop with that whole lovey-dovey thing already. I'm really not in a bright and exciting romance or anything of the sort.
You seem quite composed about this, huh? You used to be more on edge, always glaring at me when I talked about Kidahara-san.
I just thought I was tired of having to firmly deny you every time you try to falsely assume things about me, floor manager.
Could it be that things actually went well? Are you so composed because you finally become his girlfriend?
You're wrong. I'll take responsibility and deny that completely. I found a hickey. I got bit by a mosquito yesterday in the middle of winter.
No matter how you look at it, that's clearly a lie.
The hickey is also a lie, right?
Sheesh, you're always on your guard, Koharu-chi.
Guard aside, nothing like that ever happened to me. Sorry to say that.
Jeez.
Jeez, Nakagawa-san is so full of suspicion.
And yet, you handled it pretty well. She just proclaimed that she would surely cut her hands if she did it while talking. So, I ended up cutting the ingredients while Koharu watched over the pot. And after hearing her out, it became evident that Koharu actually doesn't have much cooking experience at all. After which, I decided to take the safe route and settle with making curry, which I'm most confident in.
I actually thought about her possible questions and prepared the answers to them beforehand. I even noted them down and memorized them.
I don't think you needed to go that far, though.
I'm no good at lying on the spot. I just can't seem to get on your level. It's starting to boil.
Don't try to get on that level. You're not supposed to grow in that way.
There we go. I'll just let it simmer for a while now, right?
Don't forget to skim the fat, and keep an eye on the pot. I'll make the salad now.
Yes? Leave it to me.
Up until now, she has shown how capable she is on various occasions, like in sports, studying, and her part-time job. But now I've found something she is below average in. Well, it's simply due to a lack of experience. If she got serious, I'm sure she'd surpass me in a week. Do you enjoy your part-time job?
Yes, I think I fit in quite well.
So it seems. The fact that Koharu still doesn't miss any of her shifts, even when she's staying over at my place, demonstrates just how diligent she is.
I only wanted to earn money for the trip with the girls at first, but I have a feeling that I've come to value the means over the ends.
That's so. Her strong sense of responsibility is probably one of the reasons why that's the case. Though I can feel as if that's not all there is to it when she's working. Notably, she's been letting out more frequent, natural smiles after work is over, which is something that's quite rare recently.
I've already lost my goal anyway.
Huh?
I didn't say anything.
It worries me how she immediately puts on her unnatural smile whenever she lets her guard down.
It's hard to deal with Nakagawa-san sometimes, but she's reliable and likes to dote on me. I'm also able to get along well with the others now.
Good.
Still, something bothers me. Although most of them have a longer career than me, somehow they lack ambition or look as if they only intend to work there temporarily.
I think you should dial down your criticism. Most of the folks working there are simply doing it for some extra money to spend.
That's the case for me too, you know?
It's better if you stop assuming that everyone is like you. It was a wall I crashed into about a year ago. Trying to do everything your way will only lead to pointless conflict. You'll have to put a certain amount of time into this. In any case, it took me about half a year before I could properly balance my idea of reward and punishment. And even then, I've been told that I've been oppressively restricting myself.
Even so, To think that I've been exposed to so much in 3 months despite only working during days off?
Well, unlike your height, your ambitions are quite tall, Koharu.
Stop using my height to put me down. There are still 3 classmates in front of me when we line up according to height in class.
It's fine, isn't it? It's easier to pat your head this way. Don't think you can win me over without putting your words into practice. My bad. Come here. Try not to touch my head while your hands are wet. Still, I'm glad. It seems she's in a much better mood compared to how she was yesterday. I've had to bear witness to just how emotionally volatile she's been when I've been meeting her during the weekends lately. But the fact that she still has this place to return to is reassuring. And although she hasn't gone out of her way to avoid talking to me today, I can actually feel that she's truly enjoying herself while she's at Goodies. And it's something she feels from the bottom of her heart, and not only expressed it in words.
I can't say I don't have any complaints, but I really do enjoy myself, which is precisely why there are also times when I've come to hate myself.
Like I said, don't be so harsh on everyone. You're wrong. I didn't mean it like that. Then what?
I'm talking about myself, given that I can lie with a straight face to my precious colleagues who I've had so much fun with.
Oh.
For example, even though I'm spending the nights in your room right now, I calmly told them that there's nothing between us.
It's the same for me. But because I lie with such confidence, everyone starts to believe me? Well, that's how you lie convincingly. Be confident. That's indeed. My relationship with Koharu was initially rumored to be more or less confirmed, but I've noticed that it's become more of a running gag lately.
It seems that it's important to have confidence when you're telling a lie. I might actually be a natural liar.
Perhaps everything that has transpired is the result of us keeping the topic under the rug with, okay, let's just get back to work. And the fact that neither of us have gone out of our way to deny it. Just like you, senpai? I'm sorry. Just as Koharu said, she's a liar right now.
No, I'm the one who should be apologizing. I had no reason to bring you up there.
And she's lying to just about everyone. Whether it be her close friends, people that she can put her faith in, or the very person she says she loves without hesitation. She can lie to them without batting an eye. That's not what I'm apologizing for.
Senpai?
I'm sorry that you've become a liar because of me. If not for the fact that I was so close to her, she wouldn't have needed to tell all those lies she did. And through me, Koharu's gradually become really good at lying. The cutting sounds of the knife on the cutting board disappeared. The hot pot was filled with cold vegetables, so the water will take some time to boil again. A moment of silence passed in the kitchen. Now that I think about it, wasn't it because of Kazusa that I became a liar? I wasn't able to control my feelings for her, but the way she distanced herself so far away from me after inching the slightest bit closer only served to shake me to the core. Every time I tried to give up, and every time I hoped that such feelings would just disappear on their own, she cluelessly went out of her way to distance herself from me. And that's why, time after time, I've lied so horribly to the girl I loved and just started dating. To Setsuna. In other words, perhaps I really have become good at lying. but I haven't grown as a person at all.
Senpai, what are you thinking about?
About you, Koharu.
Right after you said all that? You liar.
I'm sorry. I realize that Koharu is trying her best to stand on her tiptoes as she's facing me, because I could feel her entire weight through her 2 hands on my shoulders. That's why I naturally tilt my head to the side, leaning forward ever so slightly towards Koharu's exposed forehead, in order to reach the same height as her lips.
And now, I'm also a liar?
Koharu,
Even though I'm doing things like this with you right now, I've casually told them that nothing is going on between us, you know?
yeah.
Since we're both liars, let's stop blaming ourselves. At least not at the moment, okay?
If that's what you want, Koharu.
What I want right now is to continue where we left off for the time being.
Doing something like this while cooking is... well, how do I say this? A little too cliche?
It's alright. At least my ears are properly facing the pot. So please continue until it boils.
Okay.
Senpai.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that. We don't really know that much about Koharu's family life. We know she isn't rich, unlike most of the people at Hojo. She seemed really taken with saying Tadaima when she arrived back at Haruki's, which implies to me at least that her parents are not around much. Or at least she is used to coming home to an empty house. Does she live alone like Haruki did in high school? But with her problem with her friends, she does seem very lonely.